Hi, I'm Patu from freefincal, and today let's talk about if the poor performance of active mutual funds against benchmark indices is a recent development or was it the case a few years ago. Before we begin, another nearly 8% drop in the indices today. If you're scared, if you're worried about what to do next, or if you have any specific questions on this, leave a comment below and I'll try to write an article on this or make a video about it. Please don't ask me where to invest and so on. It's just a question of, I mean, I've said several times you should have a plan, but if you have a plan and are still worried about whether your plan is right or wrong, please leave a comment and I'll try to do a video or an article on this. The reason why we have to talk about the whether the poor performance of active mutual funds is a recent development or not is because because of the recent couple of things that have happened in the last couple of years. See, the market started falling down after pretty much exactly on budget 2018 day. After 1st February 2018, the mid cap and the small cap segment started falling down. The Nifty and the Sensex did not. They actually started moving up and were held up by just a few of the top stocks which had the maximum exposure in the index. And I had also recently shown a few weeks ago that the difference between Nifty 50 and Nifty 50 equal weight, the return difference, was at an all-time high. This means that there's a huge disparity among the 50 stocks of the Nifty, and I had also shown just a couple of days back that this disparity has started correcting itself because of this fall in the market in the last few days. So the question is, because the Nifty and the Sensex were held up by a few stocks, was it the reason why active fund managers found it difficult to beat the index? Or for now, if once it starts correcting, will active fund managers bounce back, or was it the case much earlier? That's what we're going to find out in this study. This study is pretty much similar to yesterday's video, and what we're going to do is, in yesterday's video we talked about a time period between April 2006 to March 2020. Today we are going to talk about a time period between April 2006 to April 2017. This will make sure we are out of all this market disparity. Also, the SEBI categorization rules kicked in 2018 and so on. Nifty Next 50 started moving up in 2017-18, and then it started falling down. Then people started exiting all that. So we are going to get rid of all that and look at a period which is outside all this. So I'm going to show you straight the results because too much of numbers, I'm talking about numbers, can make you bored. So let's get straight to the data. Maybe it's here. So we're going to look at 10-year durations. We're going to look at every possible 10-year durations. And between April 2006 to 2017, 55% of active mutual funds were able to beat the index consistently. Beat the index consistently means, out of every possible data, if 70% of the data shows a return higher than the index, we are going to talk about it as beating the index consistently. So let me say that again. Beating the index consistently means if I have 100 data points, 100 return data points, 10-year return data points, if 70 or more of such data points have a return greater than the index return, then we say that is beating the index consistently. That's our definition. So 55% of the funds were able to beat the index consistently over 10 years, over 10-year periods between April 2006 to April 2017. If I do the full study, that the full study means April 2006 to March 2020, in the full study, only 44% were able to do it. So 55%, 44%. There's a small drop, but please recognize even before 2018 and all that, up to April 2017, only 55% were able to beat the index. It is still pretty much a coin toss. This pattern is also seen over the 7-year periods. So in the older window, 55% were again able to beat it. In the latest window, 41% were able to beat it. Or the older window means up to 2017. New window means, full window means March 2020. So 55% in the old window, 41% in the new window. 5 years, 47% in the old window, 24% in the 5 years, 5 years, 48% in the old window, 43% in the full window. 3 years, 47% in the old window, 24% in the full window. The 24% is because there will be a domination of this nifty zooming up in that window. We'll have to see how this pans out in the future. But the message is very simple. Active mutual funds underperforming benchmark indices is not a new development. It is not a new phenomena. This has always been the case. This is the case we have shown up to April 2017. S&P has done a study into up to 2010. Even that time they show that something similar is the case. It is pretty much a coin toss. Finding a good active fund that will beat the market consistently is pretty much a coin toss. That is the reason why you should go into passive funds or follow the index, because finding that active fund is your problem. It will always keep changing. Today something will be there, tomorrow something will be there. That headache, if you don't want, go to index funds. Don't do it for any other reason. Do it primarily for this reason. Then only you will be happy with yourself and justify your call. So that's what I wanted to say in this video.